Hey, what's up? Jason Brown here. And in this video, you're going to see a conversation between me and one of our members, Larry Draper. So Larry reached out to us, was like he's having some phenomenal success after taking our program and joining Power Trades University, and he wanted to share. And so I said, let's jump on. And if you don't mind, I'd love to just record our conversation and just hear all about your success with our program. And so that's what you're about to see next. There was a few audio issues for the first minute or so, which I'm trying to figure out how to make sure he can hear me and I can hear him. But once we got past that, we just talked about how Larry's friend introduced him to the stock market. We broke down how he found our program, what was his thought process before joining, and how much he started with. And you'll be shocked to hear how much he was able to grow his account to in a very short period of time. So check out the raw, unedited version of Larry and I's conversation.
This conference will now be recorded.
Larry Draper.
How you doing?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
Can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Try.
Testing. Mic check.
Try that.
Can you
Can you
hear
hear
me
me
now?
now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I'm going to take these out and try this.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm gonna keep talking to see if you can hear me.
There you go. Sorry about that. How you
Oh, no
doing?
problem. No problem. I can hear you just fine. Hey, I'm fantastic. I want to hear about this awesome, you know, story that you have that we can
Well,
possibly share with people.
yeah, and I'll try to do my best. It's for myself. I'm a baby boomer. I'm an older gentleman. I'm retired, and as a young guy growing up, I like to enjoy life, and so I ended up being a single dad, and we the three boys and myself enjoyed life, and I never really saved any money because I just thought, well, I'll work forever. And so it leads me in to actually take back a step. I started coaching, and I really enjoyed coaching. I coach hockey, and actually I'm going to be moving from here to Vernon, BC to coach with the Vernon Vipers of the BCHL.
Okay,
And
and where are you at right now?
I'm in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Okay, Canada. All right.
Yeah,
Our
yeah,
neighbors to the north.
you betcha, you betcha. And so, anyways, moving forward, I thought, well, there's I've been quite fortunate to always made money. I said, well, something's going to happen, I just threw it out to the universe, like what's going to come along and help me out, right? Because I'm not going to stop living, and I enjoy working with the kids, coaching, and I want to coach in a place where it's going to be warm. BC and Vernon is a lot warmer here than here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So
Okay.
so a friend, my roommate, suggested that why don't you get into stock trading? And this was like in April. She said because the fellow that she works with does quite well with it. So I called up a fellow player that I coached by the name of Dario Latessa. He lives in Boston, and
Okay.
so Dario and I started talking, and his dad is been a hedge fund guy for like 15 years, and he's knows the business and all that neat stuff. And of course, Dario did as well. So I said, do you want to mentor me and help me out with the stock trading? He said, I sure will. And so we're always close because when he left the hockey team that I coached him in, we always kept in touch. And then there's Michael Young. He was a kid from out of the States. He was in Vernon when I first went to Vernon, and Dario knew him. And so we kept in touch. And so I got into when the market was down, I got into stock trading. I got into Air Canada, J Blue, Carnival, all the
Okay.
fast movers at the time. And I got in when it was real low, and then I was making money but didn't know it. Right? I thought, well, this is easy. And and Jason, as you know, at first it looks easy, but it's not. And so
No.
then I didn't have data on my platform, so I had to push and refresh. But I was such a rookie, I didn't know better, so I missed out. Like I missed out on some money, right? And so then I got. Then what happened is I was Dario had talked to me about option trading, and so I'm on YouTube because I'm always on YouTube pertaining to hockey, right? And
Okay.
there's Jason Brown doing a video on option trading, and you did a remarkable job. And I thought, well, I like that. The way he teaches, the way he coaches is pretty cool because it's along the same philosophy that my mentors that mentored me as a player and a coach. And so at the bottom of the YouTube clip was where I could go onto your website and purchase the what is it? The foundation of stock, and then
Okay.
option explained, and then
Yeah.
advanced options. Well, I thought, well, I'll get the advanced option. Well, I watched that for 5 minutes. I went, okay, I got to go back and get the foundation of stock trading because there's no simple way of doing this. So I bought the foundation and then the options
Options
explained.
explained.
You
And
bet.
then
And
you went
then
back to
and then I
advanced.
then I got into it, and then Dario helped me out. And so moving forward, to fast forward it, so I was really afraid of the options. Like I went, oh, I'm going to mess this up. So I started with the TD, right? Toronto Dominion. I did a small
Okay.
one. Yeah. And oh, I hit the strike point. Like it was didn't look like it was going to happen, but I went through the process of evaluating how the stock goes by the support and the resistance and the
Right. So
the
you're
days.
applying the stuff that was taught in
Oh,
foundation.
you bet. You bet. You
All
bet.
right. Term support resistance. Okay.
Absolutely. And so then I nailed it. So then I went in and I did some on Apple, okay, and I nailed those too. And then I thought, well, why don't I try it once, like every Thursday, so the next Friday. So I started doing that. So I was doing a pretty good job of it. But then I got nailed a couple times because
Yeah.
you got to have time, right? And you got to have time, as you always say. And so, but then it led up to a week where it was amazing. I made, like, it was on a Monday, I made quite a bit of money. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, then Thursday, I hit the big one. I hit little pigs get to eat, right? And I was that little pig, and I went in and I made about 15 grand that day. And that was,
Wow.
yeah, that was awesome. Now I know that that doesn't always happen. You have to
Right.
set it up, and you have to do,
But
you
what's
have to do
important is it's possible though. It's possible to happen. It
absolutely
might not always happen, but with
no,
the information, it's possible that it can happen.
absolutely. And if you do and follow your criteria and guidelines, it even an old guy like myself, I'm 65 going on 66, can pull it off. And but it is, you talk about the repetitions of the mother of all learning. Well, in my world, we call it the repetitions, but I like yours better, right? It's a it's repetitions, and so I'm on your programs. I'll go like I went through each one, all three, the foundations, the explained, and the advanced, and then I go back through them again. Then I wrote down notes, and now I'm getting to a point where I can look at a screen, where I got two computers. I have a Mac with bar chart, Yahoo, that
Got
unique
your
media.
news, your charts, everything
Oh,
up.
I got the whole bit. Like it's cool. Like I look at my TV, I got, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 charts up there. And see, I was a video guy. I'm the video coordinator for the Vernon Vipers, and so it's easy for me to look at video and internalize, right? And it's been a blast. And so I thought, well, why don't I? Because I enjoy your teaching, talk to you and see if it can help out more people like me. People that haven't got a ton of money in the bank. Like I got a few bucks in the bank, but I don't have the money that's going to help me live the life I used to living, right? And so this has just been a godsend for me. It really has.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you because as we, at some point shared this, you reached out to us and said, "Hey, I got a great testimonial. and
Hmm.
I'd love to share it. So if you don't mind sharing, I mean, as much as you're willing to, like, how much did you start with, and how much did you grow it to, and like what type of time frame?
I started with about $18,000,
Okay.
and then I grew. I it grew to about right now, and that was at towards the end of April. Okay, beginning of May, and it grew up to where my equity into it was 110,000. Right.
Wow.
So
So just,
it,
I mean,
it,
that's like
it
life-changing money.
It is, and now I'm just making my mistakes. I've made mistakes. I input. I go to input for Netflix, and it's at 505. So I want to go in and go in behind it and go in at like 485. Well, I didn't push the 485. I pushed the 505 again, right?
Oh,
So yeah, how, and of course, you need to make those mistakes because in my world, when you're coaching, mistakes are necessary for growth. I didn't get mad. I just said, okay, you got to stay the course. You just got to
it's
be.
part of the game.
It is, and so I've been in on some of your sessions. You talk about, you make your money and then you things happen and you kind of lose some money. Well, I'm still in the game. I started off with $18,000 and my equity is about 110, 120. Like it's just rising, and I don't count my money. I've learned that don't do that in this business. Just stay the course, and
Stay the
and
course.
you betcha. And it'll take, if you prepare throughout the week, it'll take care of itself. The only thing I would suggest is don't do the weekly trading. Like as far as is
We're actually coming out with a new course on like day trading and weekly trading. Actually, so I'm gonna be sharing some tips on how you can actually do that, and that's gonna be woven into our program somehow. But
yeah.
we actually got a new course coming out about that.
Well, I tell
So
you, Jason, I still I still do it. Like I did it yesterday, and I bought Apple. I bought 10 contracts, and I made 2,500 bucks. Then I said, well,
Nice.
let's do that. Let's do that again. So bang, I go in there, did it again. And I said, okay, that's enough, right? So then I went into Netflix and I put like I didn't do the like and that was today was the deadline, right? So I run
Yeah, the
that
pirate.
3 times. Then I went into Netflix and I said, okay, September 4th, let's go for it,
Give
right?
a little bit more time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the fast moving stocks, as long as you watch your charts and see where they're at, and do like you say, do exactly what you said. You can do the weekly trading, but it can't be with like I don't want to say anything bad about any stocks, but there's some stocks where they don't move fast enough. They move,
Hmm.
like I will say TD moves, but on its own pace, right?
Right.
Berkshire sometimes moves and sometimes it's slow mover. And so
And
you
that's an
don't want to,
aggressive stock too.
well, it is, but that stock, you want to make sure that you have it on the plan, right? And so you learn those things. And I was telling Dario, I says these stocks are just like hockey players, or the kids that coach. They got habits, and you have to know what their habits are, so you can
Yeah, and
adjust
you
to them.
can trade them, which we call patterns, right? You learn those
You
patterns
bet.
or those habits,
Yeah,
you can trade them.
yeah, yeah.
So
You
let
bet.
me so let me ask you this, because I think, rarely do we just kind of, sometimes our members making money and they're just
Mm-hmm,
quiet about it. And sometimes, then you get people like me who are like, I'm gonna do a YouTube. I made 100,000 in
mm-hmm.
one day and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But let me ask you this. So for people who like, everyone sees these YouTube videos and like,
Mm-hmm,
oh, this
mm-hmm,
guy's teaching or whatever. So
mm-hmm.
like, what was your mindset when you like first saw the video from like that point to actually purchasing? Like, what made you say, I believe this, I can do? Because now you're on the other side. You've been in the program, you've learned, and you've made
Mm-hmm.
money. But for somebody who is, sometimes people watch and they're skeptical, or so many people are running ads or posting like, I'm a trader, I'm a trader. So what was your mindset leading up to like first seeing the video and then pull it from that to pulling out the credit card and joining and then to actually making money?
Well, what I liked is the way you teach. You teach repetitions, and you reinforce that. It's about understanding that an option you have the obligation to either buy it or just take the, the option of it. And it's your repetition of doing things and the details that you do it with and the way that you explain it helped me, who I didn't know anything about the New York Stock Exchange, the Toronto Stock Exchange. I didn't know how that all of them, even the over in Europe, it's synchronized. I didn't know any of that, and it really opened, like from my perspective, not to go into another direction, but it opened my eyes about how the world is synchronized with the stock trading, and so that helped me a lot. And I really started to like it. So while I was learning from you and learning how to do it right, I bought the programs because I felt I can learn, and I'm an everyday learner. And I feel that if you stop learning, you're going to stop living. And so I like the way you teach. I like the way that you come across, and you're a positive guy, and just your tone, your way you talk, and I'm a coach too. Like I coach for 35, 40 years, and I coach for a living now as well. And I just found that you have the ability to get across to a guy that's, like I said, 65, going on 66. You've got across to him how I can do what I'm doing, and it's remarkable. And you could, we could do a video, Jason, in 2 months, right? And I'll be in Vernon, and and just talk about how just looking at your videos. Like I want to get to the master class. I'm not ready for it yet, but I want to do that one, and I'm really looking forward to that as well. And the money I invested, okay, in your programs, I have made it. Oh heck, what's
About
100 grand?
10,000 fold back or something crazy.
Oh yeah, because you do it the right way. You're not selling anything. You're teaching. And that's the difference between, for me, the difference between the YouTube clips, right, from other people, and then your actual program. Like I'm glad that you did a YouTube, because I got to see you, and whereabouts do you live? Where are you at right now?
Oh, I'm in Michigan. I'm in
You're in
Michigan.
Michigan, and I'm in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, right? And I got to see your video, and that's when I went, all right. And I hope there's a million Canadians like myself get into it, and more Americans that watch Jason Brown and his teaching, because it's awesome stuff, and I mean that.
Well, I appreciate that. And I think what's powerful for me is like I'm just a young black kid from Detroit,
Mm-hmm,
passionate about the stock market. And I love that I could bring my knowledge online. And like
mm-hmm,
it doesn't matter that you're Caucasian in your
mm-hmm.
60s, if
No.
I'm young, African
Yeah.
American in my 30s, living in like none of that matters. What matters is we both have a love and a
Mm-hmm,
passion for helping people and for teaching, and we're here to help people learn how to have their money work for them. And
mm-hmm,
that's what's important. I love that we can break racial barriers, location
mm-hmm,
barriers, all of that, and just make money together. So like I was excited that you reached out to us and that we can jump on and jam, because that's literally my goal every time, is just how can we help more people? How can we
mm-hmm,
help more people? Some people are going to be skeptical, and you can't always change that. You can't always help that, and you're not going to always be the right teacher for everyone. But the ones I am
mm-hmm,
the right fit for, is like I just want to reach as many people as possible to hear stories like yours, because that's what helps me keep going. Like these moments, it's like, all right, I am doing the right thing. I am helping people. So I appreciate you even reaching out and being willing to jump online and share, what's been working for you and why you chose us.
Well, I'm a career coach, and I planned on being that, when I was in my 30s, and I ended up being that coach. And the athletes that I coach, uh, like actually, I'm not a guy that brags about how I work with them. I don't campaign, so I had them do four of them. Brinson Pasnick, who's with ASU, captain at ASU, and then Olin Dupuis, who's with RIT, both captains, had them do up reference letters for me, and they just talked about, the teacher, the guy that works with people, treats them right. And Jason Brown, what I got from you watching you was exactly that. The one thing that really hit home for me is when you did the YouTube clip, you brought up a statement of when you had made you like, and it was probably from about 10 years before that, where you had 113 million bucks in your account, and I went, that guy knows what he's doing, right? And that didn't hurt either, right? That didn't hurt either. No, I don't need 10 million. I just
It
need,
might have been like 1.3 million or something
yeah.
because I don't got 113 million,
Uh,
but
it looked like that to me, and that got me. Hey, that got me into it, because at the end of the day, money can make your life wonderful. It isn't everything, but it sure helps when you need it. And
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I learned that firsthand just from where we live, the ability for
mhm,
us to have a nanny to be home with our kids,
mhm,
to be able to still produce income during a pandemic. Money makes a difference, and it's such a blessing that a lot of our members are able to make money even in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of people getting laid off. We're
mhm,
still able to log on our computers and pull some cash out of thin air. It seems like it's out of thin air, but out of the stock market, and still carry on with life as normal, if not better, because it's so volatile. There's so many opportunities now. So they say money. I like how Kanye West said it. He says,
mhm.
having money's not everything, but not having it is. It's like, it's not everything, but when you don't have it, it feels
Um,
like everything.
yeah, it can make a person's life very comfortable, and I've lived that life. And now, because of your teachings and your programs, I get to stay with that life. And I'm going to probably end up moving to BC because I love it there. Buy myself a condo right in the maybe a place like Kelowna or Vernon. And I feel now that I'll get that opportunity. And for me, that's pretty cool.
Man, that's awesome. That means a lot for me to hear, like that you can be in that place or move to that place. And who knows, possibly in a position to pay cash for it with the way things are going. Like that's the
Hmm.
beautiful thing about the stock market is you can start to dream again. Cause like when you think about achieving some of your financial goals, like I think about like cars and stuff like that. It's like there's no way I want to buy a Bentley if I have to work 30, 40, 50 hours for it. But if my stock market money can pay for that, it's like now
Hmm.
you can start to dream again. You can buy a ridiculous car. You can move to that neighborhood that you didn't think you would be
Right.
able to move to, you
Yeah.
know?
You betcha. You betcha. So it's you know uh, it's great. I hope that I was able to come across proper for your people that are watching your
You
posts.
know it's all about the truth. As long as we're
Mhm,
sharing the truth and we're sharing from our heart, that's that's
mhm.
that's all we want. That's it.
You betcha. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. And anytime, moving forward, if you want to touch base just to see how it's going, and maybe there's something I can help us old baby boomers out with, right?
Well, just doing this video helped. I mean, we're not gonna edit it, anything. I'm gonna have my team we're just gonna share it just like this. You'll probably see your own video on YouTube because I like it to be real, raw.
Hmm.
No, I'm not even gonna add music to it, nothing. I'm just gonna take the raw clip and upload it so they can hear from somebody like you who just saw a video, took a shot on the guy, and loved the teaching, loved the coaching, and it's working for you. And that's what I love to see and love to hear. So that's what this was all about. I was like, can we record it? Because I just wanted to share it with people.
Yeah. Well, that's one fellow coach that coaches hockey to a fellow coach in the stock business. And whether it's football, basketball, stock trading, whatever the case, we as people like need to help each other out. Like I really would like to see the world get it together instead of fighting about the silly things they are. Let's all pull together and fight the virus, get rid of that, so we can get up back onto having fun. And hey, you're talking about watching your money grow. I get up in the morning and a buddy will phone me and I say, yeah, I'm just watching my money grow. And I watch is the dollar is it going up? It's going. My money's increasing. That's pretty cool. When you watch an option, when you buy 10 contracts and you watch an option go from where you're even to up to, you put $3,000 in your
Oh yeah.
platform. That is awesome. And then you get rid of it because you want to make sure you don't get caught. And then you say, well, let's do it again, right? And
Oh, it's a
that,
beautiful thing.
oh, you betcha it is. And I got Netflix right now. I got them on average price, 8 contracts, average price $15. This morning I could have cashed it in and made 3,200, but I'm going to wait because that one's not the
So
college.
September, you said, right?
September. Yeah, that bad boy is going to probably bring in. Well, I've invested 12, probably going to bring me in $5,000 or $6,000. And you always say 20, 30% is enough. I can tell you, lots of times I'm running 40, 45% on those options, right?
Oh,
I
I
have
know.
to.
I've had some 100% ones.
Yeah. Well, I just, the mistake I made with the Netflix, that's why I got to make a little extra because I'm going to make mistakes, and I've learned years ago that mistakes are necessary for us to grow, right? And
Absolutely. We always say, as long as you live to trade another day, just don't blow up your account. As long as you live to trade
oh
another
yeah,
day.
you bet, you bet. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for spending some time with us and just being able to share your authentic story. I appreciate that.
Hey, and you take care, and I really appreciate you getting back to me and letting me tell my story. Really appreciate it. God bless.
Awesome, Larry. Keep
Thank
doing
you.
what you're doing, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks. Take care. Bye now.
All right. Bye. All right. So thanks for checking out Larry and I's conversation. And I'm just so grateful that he reached out and was willing to give his testimony. I know sometimes people in the group, they make money, but they kind of want to remain anonymous, and that's totally okay. But I love it when we're able to share real people's real story of how they're achieving success in the stock market and how we're able to help them with that. I got a lot of free resources. So if you're brand new around here and you're not ready to join Power Trades University, we got a free stock market starter pack in the link in the description. We also have a free option starter pack in the description. And then we also share with you in the link in the description how you can get started with your first free stock. And if you're past that and you're like Larry and you're looking to really learn stocks, really learn options, be part of a community, possibly have a coach, then I would be honored if you considered us at powertradesuniversity.com. We'll put a link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Let somebody else know that it's happening for real people.